Hello everyone! Alright, today I've got something kind of fun for you. This is going to be an army spotlight on my demons army, focused on Mono Slaanesh. So here is the army kind of as a whole, at least what I have so far. I think it probably comes out to around maybe like 2,500 points kitted out. There are a few different ways you can play it. But it's been really fun. So I'm going to jump into it and start showing you kind of what I've got here. So why don't we jump in and start with the characters first. Let's start with the big bad themselves. This is my Keeper of Secrets. Really love this model. I try to take it pretty much every time just because it's so fun. I wish that maybe there was a way to get it like a regeneration save or like an improved armor save to increase its survivability. The way that demons work is that their ward saves get negated by magical attacks. So even though the Keeper of Secrets is toughness 6, it can, in more competitive settings get taken down pretty quickly. But one of my favorite things to do with the Keeper of Secrets is to take it as a level 4 wizard with the illusion lore. And I really always try to get this spell, and when I do, it makes me so happy. When I don't, it makes me want to rage and flip the table, but I haven't done it yet. But when I do get it, it is awesome, because I love to get this spell, Spectral Doppelganger. If you're unfamiliar with the spell, it's an assailant spell, so you can use it in the combat phase, and if you get it off, a single enemy unit the caster's engaged with suffers 2d6 hits. And here's the kicker. These hits are resolved using the characteristics and special rules of the caster and any weapons they carry. So that's going to be really awesome, because naturally the Keeper of Secrets is a monster, literally, in combat. But as well, if you load it out with like the Aether Blade, which ignores all armor saves, then these 2d6 hits will also have those attributes, which can be extremely awesome, especially if you roll high on those 2d6 and just absolutely wallop something before you even get to take your regular attacks or your stomps. So really, really fun. Wish that it was a little bit more survivable in a competitive setting, but maybe one day they'll give us an arcane journal and it will become a little bit more survivable. So after the Keeper of Secrets, we can go into the other heroes. So the other heroes that I often take in this army are Demon Princes. So you'll probably recognize this model. This is the Sigvald model from Age of Sigmar, but I really like to use him as a Demon Prince. I just love this model. I think it's so epic and cool and embodies the Slaanesh theme super well with his like glimmering golden armor and long flowing hair. Really, really cool model. And the other model you might recognize is, I think, called Celeste, and it is a Slaanesh character, but I like to use it as a Demon Prince. I think it's really neat. I love the vibe with the kind of acrobatic Slaanesh Demonet woman on top riding this big demon. He kind of reminds me of the guys from the Alien Prometheus movie. That kind of created the aliens. They're kind of just like these like big buff humanoid giant type guys, and but it's kind of graceful. So I think that's another really fun one. So sometimes I'll run 2 Demon Princes, sometimes I won't, depending on what I'm trying to pack into the list, but those are both really fun, and I usually like having them on the table just because I think they look awesome. The last hero that I tend to run, you'll notice this is the Mask model. I usually like to run it as a Demonic Herald of Slaanesh, so that she can have the Demonic Locus and stuff like that reduces the damage you take from demonic instability. I know she doesn't technically have a banner, but I don't know. I just like to pretend, and maybe she's doing something with her like happy and sad mask that she's carrying, or maybe she's singing, or I don't know what she's doing, but it has the effect of a BSB or a herald for my army. So for the core of the army, I usually just take a bunch of Demonets. This is one big block of Demonets, and I had this big mirror model. I think it's called the Contorted Epitome, but I could be wrong. But I use it as a unit filler for the Demonets just because I think it's a really, really neat model and it gives some cool character to the unit. Yeah, I usually run a second block as well of Demonets. I kind of like to run them just really wide so you can get just a crap ton of attacks. They usually die pretty quick, but sometimes in the right matchups they can be pretty fun. I know infantry is not the best in this edition, but they're cool and thematic, and they're fun to have these ladies out there. And then I also like to run these skirmishing seekers. These ones are 3D printed, but I think they're pretty cool. I actually wouldn't mind getting maybe like 10 more of these and just being able to run a lot more seekers, because skirmishers are stupid good in this edition. Just being able to have like a 360 line of sight, and so they can either be chaff or they're so fast on the seekers that they can kind of get behind units and cause issues. They also have, I think, poisoned attacks on the steeds. So just overall a really good unit. I'm finding that they kind of end up doing more than just being the chaff I expected them to be, and so I'll probably end up getting more of those down the road. Alright, so for some of the special choices, I sometimes like to take a big 4-man unit of Fiends. I think Fiends might be kind of bad in this army list. I'm not a great judge of unit strength and like competitive value, but I think they might not be the best, so maybe I will be taking less of them, but we'll see. They have some cool stuff in that they have, I think it's called Soporific Musk, which makes it so that units in combat with them strike last, which can be kind of cool. But maybe the trick is taking like smaller units, like a smaller unit of them, and like combo, like multi-charging with like a Demon Prince or something. But yeah, I'm not necessarily sure how to use them. Really, with any of this stuff, I tend to lose like every game with these Demons of Slaanesh, as you'll see eventually when I get them into a battle report on the channel. So really, I'm calling for aid from all of you Demons players out there. Obviously, I would prefer to stick to just mono Slaanesh, which I know is kind of extremely limiting, as it seems like maybe Nurgle is kind of the strongest at this point of the 4 demon gods. But yeah, if I can stick to mono Slaanesh, I'll try to do that just because I think it's fun. So we'll see. Sometimes these guys get in the list, sometimes they don't make it. Can be one of the first things I cut. And then the second thing I have here is a Chariot. Usually I just take it as like the basic Chariot because it's not the Hellflayer model, but honestly, I guess I could probably even play it as the Hellflayer. I don't know. It's been pretty good for me. I haven't tried it a whole bunch on the table just yet. I think it would be pretty insane trying to fit the actual Hellflayer model on this base, though, because even this basic version, it hangs over the base quite a bit. It makes it pretty much impossible to get into combat with things. But it's a cool looking model, and I do like to take it sometimes as well. And the last unit that I have here is my proxy for a Soul Grinder. I don't really love actually the Soul Grinder official model for Old World. I think I understand GW kind of just wanting to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and make it, use it for 40k or you use it for fantasy, but I think it just looks a little bit too 40k with like all of the machinery parts. So I think this is a model that I had just sitting new in the box in my garage for like years and years and years. And so I was like, actually, this might be kind of fun to use as a Soul Grinder. So I built it up. I did a little bit of conversion work in that I had the Warhammer Underworlds. I think they're called the Dread Pageant. They're like just like some Slaanesh characters. And I thought they were cool, especially this guy with the spear in the back. I've always really loved that model. And so I kind of just put them on there in place of the little like serving waitstaff type of people that were on the original kit. and I think it came out pretty sweet. I always love to take this in every list, really, just because it seems to do really, really well for me. I think toughness 6 is really, really powerful in Old World from what I've seen. I'm still losing every game with him, so how powerful is it? I don't know. But I think that this is just a fun model to take, so I always try to get it in the mix. And I love this guy in the back. I suppose he's probably Glutos. And he is just a cool guy. He's just like a Lord of Excess. He's got like a hookah. He's got like all this like like gore and like blood-soaked hands and eyeballs and stuff that he's eating, and it's just a really fun model, and I always kind of enjoy taking that one. So I would love to hear any tips you guys have, and I'll try to get this army in a battle report soon so you can kind of see them in action, and maybe once you see how I pilot them, you guys can correct my poor decision making. And if you guys like these kind of army spotlight videos, I'd be happy to make more of them in the future. I could definitely put my high elves on one and show you guys kind of everything I have for that so far. It's all painted. I've got about 1,500 points of my new dwarf project painted up. I'll probably try to wait till I have, my full 2,000 points painted up for that before I do that army spotlight. But I'm really, really happy with how those guys are coming out. So look forward to that in the future. Maybe I'll just pop a quick little preview picture onto the screen of kind of what I have so far so you can see my scheme. It's all Highlands 3D printed dwarves, but I think they look really, really cool. All right, thanks so much, everybody, and I hope you have an awesome weekend. If you're watching this when the video comes out, should be Friday night. If you're watching this weeks or days or months in the future or years in the future, well, I still hope you have an awesome day or weekend or whatever it happens to be. So cheers, guys.